Last week, I persevered through a literal storm to get over the line and maintain the solid start, despite having some technical issues, we'll say. This week presents challenges in different forms. Is the streak going to survive? Welcome to Forfeit FPL, the channel where we convert fantasy points into real kilometres. As you can see with the league table, we are cooking this season. We've managed 3 out of 3 so far, which is an amazing start. Let's dive into the team review of Game Week 4 to see how we got on. I'm not gonna lie, Game Week 4 has been insane. Last week I was hit by awful weather, but this week it's our turn to cook up an absolute storm. Huge game week. Raya clean sheet, banker. Virgil 8-pointer, massive again. Munoz yet another return, only hindered by a yellow card. Another blank by De Kuiper. Enough is enough. Heads need to roll. Despite this mess, we see Van de Ven delivering a massive 14-pointer. He just knows where the back of the net is. The clean sheet and bonus backed up his epic performance. The midfield was mid by name and mid by nature this week. Kudus and Wirtz with 3-pointers. If Wirtz can't get a return against Burnley, who can you return against? Kudus felt the same in a 3-0 win. When will he get a return? I would just like to add, Shaka from Sunderland outperformed both of these bums, delivering a 5-pointer, but unfortunately he was on my bench again. A clean sheet in DEFCON was enough to embarrass these expensive assets. He's screaming for a place in the starting 11 every week. And Burmo blanks with a massive loss to Man City. To be fair to him, I think he was just unlucky. In other news, I hit the FPL dream with Eze and Gyökeres. I call it the FPL dream when one player assists another. Eze sets up a beautiful tap-in for Gyökeres. It's just wonderful stuff. Arsenal pump Forest 3-0 at home, and I get a return from all of my Arsenal players. What is better than that? Adding to Gyökeres' goal, we get a Haaland haul. 13 points boosted to 26 as my perma captain legend. This guy is unstoppable. He is demanding that armband from me week in, week out, and to make it even better, he's delivering. 2 goals and 3 bonus from our captain is way more than we can ask for. The score this week means we'll get a massive green arrow all the way to 1.3 mil. We've basically halved our rank in one game week. Unreal. 80 points all out means we have hit our first monster game week of the season. Our team scoring high means we need to follow up with a massive performance fitness wise. Let's see if we can pay respects for the team for doing their part. Now that I have some valuable experience under my belt, I know going into this challenge I need to be smart and pick my battles. This is not a week which can be left until last minute, otherwise we'll be in big trouble. We started very bright and I managed to knock out 10 kilometers on the Sunday with the rest of the week still to go. A nice walk and then an 8-kilometer run. I made a comment that I was feeling really good during this run and I was actually happy with my progress. We need to just stop and remember that I'm still relatively new to running, so the fact that I can just head out and do an 8-kilometer run and feel good after is so motivating. I'm not running at a fast pace by any means, but considering this is progress from barely being able to run at all is vital and will actually get us through the season. I decided to commute to work this week to ensure the distance was being chipped away. This is a modest 7 kilometers, but the second run of the week was drastically different to the first. I was sore and found it really challenging. I ended up injuring my foot at this point too, which is worrying to say the least. Later on through the week, I was feeling really lethargic, even when I was riding my bike. By Wednesday, I was about halfway through the distance, which just felt like a mammoth effort. Seeing that I still had 40 kilometers remaining was like a sledgehammer blow. On Thursday, I went out on the bike to smash out a bigger distance. I must say I'm still not used to riding in the dark, it's just dodgy, man. I like to think I'm actually playing it pretty safe with lights on my bike, but it still takes some getting used to. I need to avoid this wherever possible, but that's just so much easier said than done, especially heading into winter. Regardless, I managed to hit over 23 kilometers, which left one last commute on the Friday to wrap up the challenge. I was exhausted and I had to literally drag myself over the finish line, but I'd done it. Another game week, another win, and a huge haul in the bag. This is definitely title winning form, and the hard work is paying off. Even though I'm saying this now, my body is definitely not in agreement, but I'm positive the pain will be beneficial in the long run. Thank you for watching the channel where the real wins aren't a fantasy. See you next week for Game Week 5.